Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while. I've been busy with a new job, so balancing everything has been a little bit complicated, and I'd rather wait enough time to give you good content than just rush it just for the sake of it, which is kind of what I used to do sometimes. But today I am on holidays for 3 weeks, so that means I can talk about music, I can listen to music. And today I really want to talk about an album that came out actually last Wednesday. So this album is Mika Nakashima's newest one called I. So if you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I've been very disappointed with how Mika's career has been going since 2014, almost a decade now. Which is crazy to think about it, but basically she used to be one of my favorite artists from Japan, and to be fair, I do love her very, very much as a person. My issue was never her, personally, it never is with these reviews, but when our music label, Sony Music Japan, decided to just release compilations, best-ofs, non-stop for a good 5 years, I was not having it. Our last 2 albums, especially it's not Joker, it's the one before that, I don't even remember the name, which is to tell you how much I care about it. God, let me check actually, because this is actually gonna frustrate me. Yeah, Tough. Alright, so the album Tough, basically, I didn't like it by principle, because this album basically was let's just take all the exclusive songs on Best Ofs, all the songs released as singles, and put it in this and call it a original new album, which really felt like another Best Of to me, and I was like, Sony, please, you are ruining her career. Joker came out in 2019 or 2020. It was close to 2020, and I was like, it's 2020. I will say this, I might review it someday. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. There was an improvement. But today I want to talk about this new album, because first off, it is a very different album in the sense that this is, in a 21-year career, this is the first one she has entirely written, composed, and produced by herself. Which is crazy to think about it. I know that she writes poetry, she has written song lyrics, I believe she has co-composed before, but never in 21 years has she ever literally done everything on an album of this caliber. So the moment I heard that, I was intrigued. I was like, wait, that's new? And I still follow her career. I don't really listen to her singles that much. I kind of wait for the albums now, so I don't get disappointed oh, there's one new song and the rest is all single songs. But I was very intrigued by I, because we didn't get any singles before this album. She literally announced it and was like, hey, in May, there's this new thing with 30 new songs. It's crazy. This is such a 180 from everything she used to do. And I don't know how this happened. I need to check interviews, because I'm so intrigued by how this happened to be, how Sony was like, yeah, sure, do it. Because it never really felt like she had that much control. And this one is basically just hey, I'm the boss. And I mean, there's literally a song on this album called CEO. I love that. So yeah, I is an album that is surprising in a very, very, very good way. I think you can hear it in my voice how happy I am with this album. I mean, it's not the greatest album of all time, let's not go that far, but it is such an improvement on everything that has been released for the last 8 to 9 years. And it really makes me happy, because this is it's a bold album, because she really decided to do everything herself, which she has never done before, so you never know. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it doesn't work, but this album really works because I feel like for me, Mika Nakashima, and I'm thinking about prior to 2013, her music was always like, it was pop music, and yeah, she did follow trends, but there was always a little something about her music that was always so intriguing to me. She was always a bit of a nutball, really, on the J-pop music scene. Whether it comes to her acting, or even like, she used to do these beautiful photo shoots, like photo books for when she went on tours. And it was very odd, like sometimes very inspired by fairy tales, but like with a twist. She loves spiders, and I think she's a very peculiar person, but in a very good way. She has her own authenticity, which I think was completely lost for the last few years. And it's also very funny. I don't know if you guys have Netflix. She's actually on a show called Followers, directed and written by Mika Nakashima, one of my favorite directors in Japan, actually. And Mika is in it, and she plays this fallen, out-of-touch pop star, which definitely echoes, I think, her own career. And, every time I complained about her music, I always felt bad because it was never personal, like, about her as a person, like I said before. It was more about the music itself wasn't that interesting. And, her character in this show is struggling to stay relevant because she's basically doing what her music label tells her to do. And then there's an awakening, and it's like she starts to do what she loves, and then she's satisfied. She doesn't need the fame, the money, she's just doing what she loves. And that's what this album feels like to me. She's just doing what she loves. It's not groundbreaking. I would say it still follows what she has done before in her music, but the quality this time is very much elevated. I do believe Cold Fit, which is a duo, I believe, that has been collaborating with her for many, many, many years. I think ever since the beginning of her career. And I do love their work. And I think they are a little bit involved with this album, more like a guidance kind of thing. And I appreciate that because you can tell she's just having so much fun with this album. And I do believe the creative aspect of I really shines because, yeah, she's just exploring, doing things that she loves. And so this album is actually almost an hour long, which is insane. I never expected that. I would say the ballads are the ones that last the longest on this album, which is fine because they are good ballads too. There isn't one song on this album that I dislike, like profoundly dislike, where I'm like, this is trash. No, everything here is great. There's a lot of songs here. I'll say this, the opening song, Hello, is very it's like a pop rock song, very bright, which kind of threw me off at first because I was like, okay, this is a bit like cheesy. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about cheesy sometimes. At least, the album doesn't open on like a ballad, which I am so grateful. But yeah, I was a bit like, is it gonna be good? And then yeah, Hello, you kind of get used to it. To be honest, I've listened to it a couple times and I'm like, no, this is actually pretty good. I'm actually listening to the album as I'm talking right now just to make sure I remember things because yeah, it's an hour long. I will also say that her vocals sound pretty delightful on this album. You can tell she's not pushing herself too hard, and I feel like lately she has found a balance to make her voice comfortable, not pushing herself to the point of breaking and making it very rough, which is okay. I'm glad she's finding this balance in her voice because I think it works very well for her, and this album is actually very enjoyable to listen to, even on a vocal standpoint. And so yeah, this album has 13 songs. They're all new, like I said, and there's a bit of everything. There's a few ballads, there's a few, I'll say yeah, jazz-inspired songs, such as the second song called Puzzle, because, Mika, if you know her discography, she has done a lot of things. She has done reggae, soul, blues, jazz, electro, pop music. I don't think she has done EDM, though. I don't think she went there yet. Rock, hard rock, metal, a little metal, but not really the voice. Disco. I mean, she has done many things when it comes to her music, and that's why I always liked her, because she really just has a very wide catalog of songs, and you never know what to expect, at least until a point in her career. It was always very surprising. And she's been very constant. Like, of all the Japanese artists I used to listen to, she's definitely one that has been like she was always constant with her music, even though she always tried new things. And I'm very grateful for that. If it wasn't for all the best ofs mess that happened, I think I would still be a big fan, but I never... Yeah, this is the first album in a while when I'm like, oh my god, this is great. And on this album, she's also singing a bit more in English, which it's something she hasn't done in a while. Now, her English is rough, but I think it's okay. I'm French, and my English is rough, so who am I to criticize, honestly? But on the song I'm Here, she's actually doing pretty well, because I believe one member of Cold Feet is actually a native English speaker, and you can tell she probably guided her for the pronunciation. And it works. I'm Here is very interesting. It's very dramatic. It's a very intense song. The message is basically like, I'm here for you, I'm here to support you. And it's pretty great. It's great. This album really feels like a little bit of a emancipation of being like, I do what I want, I'm supporting myself, and then having very healthy relationship to music, which maybe she didn't have for a little while. But yeah, it's like, don't be afraid, things like that. It's a bit cheesy, but I think it works very well. It's a very positive album. I really like that. I need to check more of the lyrics, I'll be honest. I've listened to this album like 4 times now, so obviously I'm here, I understand the English better than the Japanese, but yeah, it's pretty good. And something that I love about this album, when I say, that she's kind of an oddball, is that she used to have very, like, circus-themed songs sometimes, like, very funny. You hear, like, sounds like someone laughing, a bit creepy at times, and this album really brings that back very well, and I'm so into it. You got the song, like, Phantom, which definitely uses that. I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. It's very dramatic. Mika as an artist, and if you ever seen her live, she loves the theatrics. Like, she really loves to be dramatic and play it off. And obviously when you're on the stage and you're singing, you definitely empathize that a lot more than, let's say, like an actor in a movie. But she loves that. And also I always liked, that she really explores many different mediums, such as acting, overacting, which I think she does pretty well. And Phantom is super dramatic. It is very surprising, but it's very, I would say, serious. There's like this creepy, intense vibe to it, but it's not like I think the other song that I'm thinking about is Delusion. Now, Delusion actually has a music video that I have not watched as I'm talking right now. But the song is basically like a circus song, like, like creepy haunted house circus kind of vibe. Very fun. And this is what I was talking about. It's like, it reminds me of the creepy, funny songs that she used to do that she hasn't done in a while. And, I think this album is basically just reuniting everything that is good about her music. And she's taking full control of it. And, yeah, It's a lot of fun. This album, I'm very happy to talk about it. There's so much to digest. There's a song like CEO, which is a lot of fun. It's a bit like, rock music. I really like that. She's really just mixing everything that she has done throughout her entire career. Life is a Drive is also very funky. Very funky, very like 80s kind of disco music. I was surprised to hear that. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I did not expect that. There's so much influence in her music that comes from everywhere else, but also her own music now, which has kind of become her own music personality. But here it is amplified, it is delightful, and yeah, I don't think there's any more that I can add except that I'm very, very happy about this album. I highly recommend it if you listen to Mika and you've been a little bit disappointed like I have, or you've just like completely ignored the best ofs, which is something I should have done. But yeah, is a very, very interesting album, very fun, a bit long. I would say the ballads do tend to drag a bit. I mean, 6 minutes ballad is very long. You need to make it entertaining from A to Z, otherwise I may just skip them from time to time, but they're still very enjoyable. But yeah, this album is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very Mika Nakashima, but in the best way possible. I'm delighted by this. I'm genuinely delighted by this. Yeah, listen to it on Spotify, iTunes Music, whatever, Apple Music, whatever you listen to. Give it a try, because it's worth it. And I think that's gonna be it for this review. Thank you so much for listening. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe, to leave a like, and I'll see you next time.